You had a year-end target of 8,000, now revised to 9,000, if I'm not wrong.
That's
Walk
correct.
us through it.
So it's earnings driven. So let me give you just an amazing statistic. At the beginning of this year, consensus, and we were looking for, call it around 30-ish% earnings growth. Still very good for Korea. That number is now, on our latest numbers, 300%. To put that into context, we cover 12 markets in Asia, and we've got data going back to the late 1980s. And if you look at all that data set, 300% earnings growth is the single largest ever earnings growth for any market as far back as we can go, with the one exception being the emergence from the devastation of the Asian financial crisis in 1999, off the rubble of basically no earnings at all.
Yeah.
When a percentage gain is sort of, you go from like 1 penny to 10 pennies, that's a huge increase. But off normalized earnings, you've never seen earnings triple, and it just shows the exceedingly powerful earnings dynamics for the upstream, for the memory sector, which in simple terms is that demand is accelerating very, very rapidly, including with this transition to the agentic AI economy.
Yeah.
Our semiconductor analysts now think there's going to be a 24 times increase in token demand, and simply put, supply can't keep up with that, which means you've got very strong pricing power, which then goes to the bottom line for these highly operationally leveraged industries. So it's a perfect positive storm for these companies, and that is really what's driving that Kospi forecast.
My goodness, perfect positive storm. All right, let's bring Sherry in.
Exactly. And, Tim, help me out here with your acronym game, because I don't have one, but there is, of course, a fear of missing out. And then there is this fear of not knowing when to sell, which is definitely the type of fear that is playing out in South Korea, at least for the retail investors. And that's what I am witnessing here. Korea, when you say it's your highest conviction view right now, tell me, how much further upside that you see here? And is it really prudent to get into Korea now? Or maybe there are some other attractive names and markets that you can get into at this point in time. I mean, given the run-up that it's had, sure, there is that earnings-driven melt up, but it's already melted up quite a bit, no?
So, Sherry, everything you say is very reasonable, and we concur with a lot of it. So it's very hard to buy a share price or market when the share price is just going like that. And if you look at momentum indicators for Korea, there's a typically well-followed one called the Relative Strength Index, RSI. It goes from 0 to 100. 100 being most overbought, 0 being most low. Typically, a market gets overbought around 70, and it's oversold around 30. Korea and Taiwan are both now around 80 to 85. So we're definitely at the high end of the range, which says that the immediate entry point right now is certainly on the hot side. That being said, we think strategically there still is much farther to go. As we just mentioned, we've raised our target on Kospi to 9,000, and that's, I still think, a very conservative target. It could go much higher than that, because that just embeds a forward multiple of 7 to 8 times earnings. The key debate in the market is how long the current supernormal profit cycle for the semiconductors can last. And what we think is being mispriced in the market, even now after the strong runs, is the duration of those profits. So if they can last sort of 3 to 5 years at this elevated rate, then we think the market will go higher. Now, tactically, I think that one could maybe wait for a pullback. And one of the things which we like is being long the market, but having some sort of derivative overlay which cushions the bottom. I can go into detail if you wish, but the broader point here is that there are ways to shift or shape the outturn so you get a more positively skewed outcome, but still protect your downside.
So let's stay with that duration of those profits for memory chip makers in South Korea. I wonder,